What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Two for Two, your sports podcast for the culture by the voices of the culture. I'm your host, Keith, and I'm here as always, my brother Nell. We are back on the pod today. Got another great episode for you guys. It's season 4, episode 30. Let's jump right into it. Nell, my do-rag brother on the day. How you feeling, man?
Doing good, brother. Good to see you. Got a lot to talk about today.
Yes, we do,
Been a
man.
busy week.
Busy week in the NFL, busy week in the NBA. We're gonna get into it. We also are less than a month before we reunited, brother, at the Temple wedding in Houston coming up, man. That's gonna be
It'll be a fun one.
another great time. So we, a lot to celebrate, a lot to talk about. But today,
Waltpalooza was a fun one.
can he do it? Can Temp top the Waltpalooza, the Peggy's Palooza? It'll be awesome. It's gonna be a great time. And this will be a movie because Walt will be able to really, really be with us this time because he's not getting married. So we'll be great. But man, in the NBA, man, there's Wilt Chamberlain, there's somebody in second, there's Kobe in third. Bam Adebayo, 83 points, scored against the Washington Wizards this week. Officially, Kobe's record of 81 has been topped by none other than Bam Adebayo, not the person that many people expected. If you were to expect a person, you thinking elite scores like Shea, you're thinking Luka, you're thinking, maybe even a younger LeBron. A lot of guys who's first when you think of them, you think scoring, right? Bam, hell of a player. I think he's an elite NBA player. He's a lottery pick, played for Team USA, done it all. But to now, he has 83 points by his name. Looking at the game log, 20 for 43, 7 of 22 from 3, 36 of 43 from the free throw line. That's a big talking point. 9 boards, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals, and 83 points. I mean, just off the cuff, Nell, you see that, you hear that, or when you heard that, let's take it back to when you heard Bam was at 70, because that's kind of how this went, right? Everybody got the text around the same time. Bam's at 70. And then you look, it's the third quarter or whatever, you like, whoa. What's your reaction to this, man? How are you feeling?
Initial reaction is, wow, it's really open gym season in the NBA. Pickup ball at its finest. But really, at that point, after those initial reactions, then it was just tuning in just to see if he was actually going to break the record. I don't think I turned the game on until he hit about 75, 77 points. And then, from that point on, it was the nastiest basketball game. The nastiest ending to a basketball game I think I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen some nasty ones. I can remember a game against the Celtics and Cavs where, literally for the last minute, they were intentionally fouling and they just went back and forth and shot free throws for a good 1 minute left in regulation, took another 10 to 15 minutes. But this one, say what you want about the end of the game, but like you said, 83 points, second all time. I don't like to rain on anyone's parade, regardless of what I may say in group chats and privately to amongst friends. I don't like to rain on people's parade. 83 points is a terrific accomplishment. I never thought I would see. We've seen plenty of 70-point games, in the past couple of years. Embiid, Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Dame, Luka. So 70 is achievable, but 80 was something that we thought we might never see again. So to see someone actually eclipse 80, definitely not the player, like you said, that, you would expect, even if you're having a conversation on like, who's the guy you could see maybe scoring 80 one day in the NBA. Bam is far on that list. And you have to be a mega Heat fan to even utter his name in that conversation. So, shout out to him. The performance was performance. Like you say, 83 points is 83 points. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We hear about people scoring 100 in high school. And it's still just that number in general. Hearing a crazy high scoring number like that it's wild, and all the backlash that it's gotten. I hate the public backlash that the 83 has gotten. You look at Kelly Oubre's comments. I didn't like his comments saying, well, Embiid did it in 3 quarters and more efficiently. I didn't like Ime Udoka's comments like, oh, well, it was the Wizards and look at the free throws and all that. I think, mainly, especially from your peers and people that, lace them up and go out there on the court. I thought it was kind of corny for them to, publicly come out and kind of diminish the night that he had. Because, Bam, like you say, he's a really good player. He's not one of, the top 10 guys in the league. He's not an MVP candidate year in and year out, but he's an all-star. He's won a gold medal. He's a guy that shows up, every night. He plays hard. He shows up. He's one of the good guys in the league. So, it was kind of sad to just, kind of see all the hate that he, was receiving just, for the kind of person that he is and, having such a great accomplishment. At the end of the day, 83 is 83. The second highest scoring performance in NBA history. That's on his resume forever. Just got to give him a ton of credit. But yeah, I didn't like the backlash that, he was receiving. Like I said, the end of the game was nasty, the intentional fouling. I thought the refs were, just quick to blow a whistle to give him some more free throws, but that has nothing to do with him. All the backlash, everything that we didn't like about the performance, it had nothing to do with Bam. So I felt bad for Bam that on a night where he had, his greatest performance ever, one of the greatest performances in NBA history, it was just met with so much backlash and, just trash talk. And, it really should have been a night. And, even the day after, he just should have been met with a bunch of flowers and, really just, celebrating the accomplishment that he had. But instead, you just got a bunch of people saying what it wasn't and what the league is now.
Yeah.
And, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a really good thing that social media wasn't overly prevalent back, when Kobe had 81. Obviously, the Wilt 100, people are still out on, looking for that film. I mean, I just think in general, I'm glad social media hasn't been around for a lot of the earlier great performances in the league because it just seems like if that was the case, we wouldn't be able to celebrate anything, right? Because it seems like in today's basketball culture, it's driven by hate and it's driven by knee-jerk reactions of people trying to discredit certain things. Anybody that's ever touched a basketball before, pickup game, 2K game, YMCA, rec, high school, middle school, college, NBA, you know how hard it is to score 20 points. You know how hard it is to score 30 points, right? There's a reason why people in the NBA get paid hundreds of millions of dollars because they can average upwards of 25 to 30 points a game. That's a lot of points to score. You talking 83 damn points, and people are trying to find a way to discredit it as if you had the chance to score 83 points, you would do the same thing to make sure you get them 83 points. However you got to get it, if you having a night and it's just on and you look up and you like Bam at half and I don't know exactly how much he had at half, but let's say it's 60 or whatever it was, 80 is in your sights, right? Like even you talking about Embiid 70 whatever in 3/4, like it's in your sights. And if your teammates know about it,
I think it was only like 59.
He had 59.
Yeah, because I know he scored a couple buckets in the fourth quarter to get 70, and then he came out. I don't think it was 70 and 3/4.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Same difference.
So Kelly Oubre was just being loud and wrong at the same time.
Right. So even worse, right? Like even worse. Like if you have an opportunity to celebrate that for your teammates, you have the opportunity to celebrate that for yourself as a fan. Imagine I'm a Miami Heat fan, and Bam is certainly Bam's the best player on that roster. Like he is, right? He's the guy. He's the poster of everything. Like if I'm a Miami Heat fan and that's my favorite player, I have a chance to watch my favorite player score, break a record. You know what I'm saying? Or do something like that. You get to watch it in person. The man's in front of his mom. The man's in front of his girl. Like, are y'all drunk? Like have we lost? Like, I feel like we've lost, like, just gratefulness as a community, right? Like, you don't get to see that. Like, we are fortunate to see some of the best, most talented, most gifted athletes playing in the NBA today. and you see something like that, and what you hating because it's Bam? Like who? Like you said, he's one of the good guys. Who hates on Bam? When have people ever hated on Bam? Like that's magical, bro. That's dope to do that, and then you get on in the press conference after with your girl, and you give her flowers while you up there too, man. Like I feel like a lot of people forget what this life thing is about, right? Like it's about celebrating accomplishments and living and being happy and things. Like we hating on a guy scoring 83 points in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? You go do it, Ime. You know, you hating on the Wizards. Well, let's make sure the Houston Rockets never lose to the Wizards again for the rest of your time, Ime, since that's the case. Like, it's just weird, bro. Like, the dude had 83, and then on top of it, like you talking about the fouls. Well, how many people get to the foul line and brick show, right? Like refs not calling fouls if you get into the line, you just bricking Shaq. Like what we talking about? So the guy still had to put in the work to score the buckets. Like if you watch the game, like he was being fouled. Like you said, now some of the whistles I think were a little bit quick, but like, bro, he's out there sweep through 1 dribble pound layup. Like they can't guard that man. He had a night. So I just think it's really really a shame that like in today's culture everything is discredited, right? Like you win a championship, it's oh well this happened. Oh well, that happened. You score 40. Oh well, you had 6 turnovers, and you like who cares? Bam doesn't. At the end of the day, Bam Adebayo's name will be forever cemented in history. You a young basketball player. You grow up dreaming of moments where you can have a chance to hit a game winning shot. You have a chance to score a bunch of like, dude. He's living out everybody's dream. And I think that's the problem. Y'all hating on the man because he doing something that you always wanted to do, something that you always dreamed of. You thought never would happen again, right? People talking about the Kobe thing. And he had 81. And then we're comparing how Kobe got his 81 versus Bam's 83. Like it, it's just weird, right? It's weird to me. Like you said, when we in our private conversations, we can nitpick and have as much fun at it as we want, but that's just us having fun. At the end of the day, like the dude scored 83 points, and that's something that you won't see again this year. And then hopefully, I mean, maybe you will, right? Maybe it'll inspire somebody else to try. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but at the end of the day, so far, Bam is a guy that did that, and that should be celebrated, right? That like we need to.
Yeah, national media should be ashamed because I don't. There wasn't this kind of coverage around Kobe when he scored his 81. Nobody was calling it a basketball atrocity. Even when guys have scored 70, like I said, we've seen plenty of 70-point games over the last couple of years. Only one I could think was kind of close to that when Luka scored 73 against Atlanta. People kind of threw a lot of hate at that, just the way he did it. But I mean, it's still nothing like this Bam 83.
Yeah.
Like I said, we just got to get back to just celebrating history and greatness, and just what the league has always been, just giving us great moments of entertainment. That's what it is. It's not supposed to be a thing for us to dissect and rip apart and just hate on nonstop for the tiniest
Nitpicking an
things.
83-point performance is crazy. Nitpicking an 83-point performance, like you can firmly say I saw it, right? Like I remember where I was when we got that notification. Bam's on the, you know what I'm saying? Like that's dope, bro. Like that's fun.
And I
stuff.
got plenty of nitpicks, but just like you said, like Bam's never been in any bad press, never been in any trouble off the court. Like I just feel like that's the wrong guy to try to nitpick and take away from such a magical night that he had. I thought he deserved better than that, especially from his peers. Like I said, I did not appreciate coaches and players kind of throwing shade his way, because if they had a chance to score 83, I'm sure they would take the
I'm saying,
opportunity.
yeah. Like if you Bam and you're a player and your teammates are out here, like you said, intentional fouling thing, it is what it is. But hey,
That was disgusting.
my teammates looking out for me, right? They trying to triple team the guy. Spo's like, hey, they gonna triple team him
I
and not let
respect
him
it.
get it. I'm gonna
If that
find a
was
way
if
to
that was
make
if
sure
that
you
was
get it.
Embiid, I'm in my room. I'm like, yeah, foul. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
get it.
do it. Right. So definitely weird, but super
Don't
dope.
stop at 83. Let's get 85.
Hey,
Let's get 90.
he missed 7 free throws. That's 90 right there, Bam. Come on. Come on. But
Honestly, if he went 43 or 43 at the line, that would have been
another thing to
super. That
celebrate.
might have been more impressive than
I think I
the
saw something.
83.
I saw something about like Bam hit like I think what it was, 38 or whatever I said. Uh, but he made more free throws in that game than my guy Mikal Bridges has made since December. Damn shame.
That's
That's
crazy.
that's terrible for Mikal Bridges. Also for Bam though. That's just my Nick hate for the
I
day.
mean, Mikal doesn't.
Nah,
He's not like he's not a
I,
put the ball on the floor kind of guy.
I have
So I
some
mean,
thoughts.
doesn't shock me that much.
I'll get to him shortly. But yeah, definitely dope for Bam. Definitely dope for NBA. Uh, Something that we can say that we saw. Like I said, we weren't there for Wilt's 100, right? Everybody's like, "Oh, where's the video? Where's the video?" Da da da. Hey, you saw Bam's 83. Celebrate it or shut up. That's my thoughts. Why we hating on Bam? And leave the Wizards out of it. Okay, G League team or not, they all professionals. They out there playing. Like if that was the case, other teams have played this same version of the Wizards. Same version. They ain't scoring 83. So, but on another side of things, speaking of celebrating, things to celebrate. We talked about it a little bit. We prefaced it. Jayson Tatum has made his return to the NBA, and he told us. He said, "I'm not coming back to be a role player." Boom, first night out, no minutes restriction, plays pretty good night, right? And he's been playing pretty well since then. The Celtics look, primed to make another run. So I mean, at this point, do you think Tatum's return has changed your thoughts on the outlook of the East overall?
Last time we talked, I was, pretty adamant that, the Celtics wouldn't be able to come out the East with, Tatum coming back off of, such a major injury and, kind of having to work through that. But the way he's looked in the first week, I'm still gonna, give it a couple more weeks just to see how his body, adjusts and adapts to, playing minutes and, getting up and down the court on a weekly basis. But I mean, if he's looking the way he's looked in the first week, I can only imagine what he's going to look like a month from now if they go deep in the playoffs 2 months from now. So if he continues on this trajectory and, like I say, no minute restrictions, he looks good. He's taking the same kind of shots that he took when he was healthy last year. So I mean, everything's looked good, and I mean, you just see it just makes him such a dangerous team. I mean, Jaylen Brown's been the number one guy all season. Like, I told you he's, in the MVP discussion for me. Now he gets to play one-on-one. You see double teams aren't coming to him as aggressively as they were without Tatum there. Now, when the ball's swinging, the ball's getting swung to Tatum in that corner. So
Yeah.
it just makes it that much of a headache for defenses now. Vucevic is still out. So, I mean, if Tatum is looking like that and, I love the fact that he's not on minute restrictions. I think that's, a
Super
really
dope.
good sign.
Super dope.
So, I mean, it's hard for me not to put them number one. When I look at the East, we pretty much at this point in the season, we're down to just 4 teams: Knicks, Cavs, Celtics, and Pistons. Um, when I look at the Knicks, like, possibly, maybe the best starting five out of that group. But like I said last week, just something's just kind of missing with them.
Change that. To hell with that.
Uh,
They suck.
yeah,
That five is not.
but I love how your stance has changed after the conversation we
I
had
just said the
last
starting
week.
five. The starting five.
Okay.
I have thoughts on the starting five. That's all.
Okay. Well, the bench is awful, so that
Yeah.
ain't helping
Not
you.
if you
The
change the
five
starting
ain't
five.
carrying you.
You
Um,
saw my boy Jordan Clarkson last night. Don't hate. He back.
I did not actually.
25.
Okay, good for him.
He back.
Uh, Hopefully he can keep it up. But then you look at the Cavs, and then I feel like they've got like maybe they've probably got the deepest team between them and the Cavs. They probably have the deepest team in the league, but it's those demons with James Harden, Donovan Mitchell to a lesser degree in the postseason. Donovan Mitchell's never been to a conference finals. James Harden, we know how it gets later in tight series by game 5, 6, 7. His tendency to, not shoot the ball and not show up. So, that's cause for pause. Jared Allen, can he be effective in the postseason? But on paper, it looks like they can continue to go all the way. Pistons, they've had a great regular season. But, Cade is, pretty much just leading that group. I know Duran's been an all-star, but he's not, the kind of all-star that you, say, give me 20 points a night. Like, a consistent offensive second option is something the Pistons are missing. And one of the reasons, some teams think that they might not get all the way in the postseason. So, with all four teams, you got something that you can look at and say, this is why they won't get there. But, in the case of the Celtics, if they're healthy and Tatum is playing the way that he's playing right now, I think they don't have really any flaws. My biggest flaw for the Celtics would probably be their front court depth. But I mean, and then when I really thought about it, you're not going to have to worry about Embiid or Giannis really in this postseason run. So you don't really need the kind of bigs that you would have needed in the past to really, hold down the paint. And I think the Celtics perimeter defense is good enough to, overcome, their bigs, defensively. So, I think, for that reason, I don't. I would be shocked if, Tatum stays healthy and stays on this path that he's going on if they didn't come out the East.
Yeah. Uh Definitely a little worried. As a Knicks fan, I can say that I'm a little worried because we talked about Tatum, and I said that I thought that it wouldn't take him too long to to get back to form. Uh but it looks like he's already back to form. I mean, he's averaging like 19 points. He's had 20 and 2 straight. What I mean, outside of the 15-point performance in his first game back, like he looks, he looks the part, like you said. Like he looks like Jayson Tatum. He's rebounding the basketball. He's passing the basketball. He's defending. Him being on the floor, you see the impact of that on Derek White, right? Like how he's been looking. Obviously, their last game against the Spurs, they lost, but Jaylen Brown got ejected and all the different things that impacted that game in the NBA, robbing us of fun stuff. But nevertheless, like Tatum looks comfortable, and I think he has that edge to him, right? Like as a Knicks fan, he went out in a game where in the playoffs, he got 50, right? I'm worried because I know that he's back for a greater purpose. He's trying to win a championship, and he's injected confidence into that entire roster. Um, we talked about the Knicks starting five, and my worries with Mikal Bridges right now. I mean, he's losing his spot. I think Mikal Bridges is losing. He's losing minutes. I think he's played. I don't know the last time he's finished a game for the Knicks. Josh Hart hasn't looked great in the starting lineup either. And so I'm thinking, you look at Boston, and you talk about the teams that are threats to them right now. As you pointed out, a lot of these teams look a lot more shaky, right? Like a lot of these teams are kind of teetering. We just saw the Cavs; they just lost the other night to the Magic, and like obviously it's NBA, it's a night to night league, and things happen. But you talking about a 7-game series, and you got Jaylen Brown who's been playing at the MVP level, and you got Jayson Tatum who's only going to get better as he gets his feet, as he keeps going. The wear and tear might be interesting to see, but I mean, he looks fine, right? He looks fine. So I think right now you got to give Boston a little bit of a nod, to come out of the East now. Um, they were already second without him. What he's done since he's been back, obviously, and then like I said, like the other teams just aren't really moving me right now, and that's including my own team, right? So it'll be interesting, man. I think the Eastern Conference is this player. It just got a lot more interesting. A lot more interesting. Those matchups are going to be really, really fun. Detroit, they still got their dog in the fight. But I agree with you. I think it's a 4-team race at this point, and it's going to be whoever makes it out, right? Whoever can get done. The seeding will matter tremendously, I think, because I mean, also some of those teams at the bottom of the East, they might not be, the team that you think is going to contend for a championship, but they're going to give you a fight, right? Like if you got to go play Charlotte now and how they've been playing, like it's going to be you might sweep them or they might get one, but they're going to beat you up a little bit, right? Like Orlando going to beat you up a little bit. They physical, right? Like, I mean, obviously I don't want to bring your Sixers into this, not trying to, actually start
Please
anything,
don't.
but you still got other teams looming that have guys as well. So I think the top 4 teams are definitely going, they're going to have to fight it out, but Boston, with Tatum and how he's looking, man, it's pretty scary. I'm not too happy. I'm not too happy as a Knicks fan. Um, and you touched on it with the defense. I think that's the main thing, right? Like defensively, you talking about they don't have to worry about Giannis. They don't have to worry about Embiid. But now you can move Tatum down. You think Knicks, Tatum's guarding a cat, right? Like Tatum's guarding cat. You think about the Cavs.
Which is sad on
It,
Cat's part.
it is sad. Um, Tatum's guarding. You're putting Tatum on Evan Mobley, and then whatever the case with the rest of them, and so then you got to guard him on the backside of that. So it's gonna be interesting, man. And he's shooting it well. He's moving well. It's definitely surprised. Definitely surprised that he everything he says so far, he's been on it. I said it. If anything crumbles the Celtics, it'll come down to if him and JB get into a power struggle at some point in time down the stretch. But this is a championship team, and I don't foresee that happening. They've done it before. So East is on notice. I'm worried. My team is.
I told you to bury weeks ago.
My center's still not playing back to backs. Josh Hart needs to be removed from starting lineup. Mikal Bridges, like I said, hasn't shot, and he doesn't shoot free throws. He doesn't get to the rim. He doesn't score. Hell, he barely even defends anymore.
They used to 4 first-round picks, right?
Wasn't it 5?
Sheesh.
Yeah, I'm sick. I'm sick right now. But hey, this is the most honest I've ever
At
been.
least you beat Boston last year, right?
Hey, we're gonna. Hey, I mean, I ain't say we was gonna lay down. I just said I'm nervous. Yeah, I ain't say we gonna lay down. Ain't no. You talking about he gonna guard Cat? Hey, whatever.
You said that.
I'm saying that's his matchup. Cat
I'm saying that's sad.
I ain't gonna lie, Cat been doing all right lately. He been. If nobody else been hooping, Cat been coming around. JB it's crazy. We talked about Jalen Brunson with the assists, and then what was that, like 3-4 straight games he gets 10 plus assists after we talked about him not passing, and the Knicks were winning. So it's almost like we know something, huh? Like move
It's
that
almost like the
thing,
formula's there.
move that thing. But we'll see about that, man. Exciting times in the NBA. Moving over quickly, man, to the NFL side of things. Well, not all NFL, but just some quick hitters, man. NFL offseason underway, well underway. Moves have been made all around the NFL. We've seen trades. We've seen trades rescinded and things that I didn't even know could happen. But so far, before we get to that, the thing about that Crosby trade, man, the biggest offseason moves for you so far? What you got on your radar?
Come on, man. You already know what it is.
You feeling
my boy going to the Bowl next year. My boy coming up the AFC finally. They got my man DJ Moore. That's up.
That's it. That's all they
They got my man at receiver. It's up. He gonna be hungry too because he was fighting for targets in Chicago.
They would have got Mike Evans if they didn't sign him or if they didn't trade for him.
That's all right. We just needed somebody. Josh gonna elevate you. We just needed somebody.
Yeah, man, Mike. That's a good move for him. That's a good move. He got
love that move for him.
DJ, that's
and
big.
then Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs was pretty crazy too.
That was like the first domino of free agency.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what Patty's timetable is to return, but yeah, they got their run game now.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be nasty. Some people hating on it though. Did you like the money? 3 years, 43. I ain't mad at it. They need to run it back. That's
what happens when you win a Super Bowl. Saquon got the highest paid contract after his Super Bowl run. It's the price of winning the championship.
What did you think about you guys getting Rashawn Gary?
Solid. Can never have enough, too many pass rushers, especially, the way our defense was last year.
Yeah.
We need any and all type of defensive talent. So any help, we'll take.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I like the obviously I kind of mentioned the Mike Evans deal. Big move, man. Really killed me. I came on here and I said it wasn't going to happen. I was like, Mike's going to be a buck. Mike Evans is now a San Francisco 49er. And it sucks.
It's only right. You tie the GOAT, for 1,000-yard receiving seasons, and you might as well go play where he played too to get you another 1,000-yard receiving season.
Yeah. It sucks that we got delayed in doing the pod because Mike hadn't said nothing all week, right? So I just been sad. But then of course today he comes out and he's like, yeah, it was never really about money for me. I've always liked how they, the history of the franchise and how they take care of business on the football field, and I think they were a piece away, and I'm the missing piece, and I'm just like, oh my God.
What's up with your mans?
Who?
2.
I don't know, bro.
Your new number 1 receiver. What's up with him?
Hey, I'm going to say this. CT is a very serious thing. I don't play about it. but every great receiver got a little something wrong with him. And if Mike Evans was the final domino to move my guy's needle a little bit more to AB's side, I'm all in. He's ready
Okay.
to be a number one at that point.
Hopefully hey, he's still my dynasty receiver, so hopefully that leads to
Hey, stock's up for him, man.
more production this year.
I mean, you think about it from that standpoint, like, obviously, I'm not saying like Tampa drafted him and we're like, we drafted him with the idea that he would, yes, be Mike Evans' replacement. Obviously, we didn't expect it to be this soon. I think the Bucks tried to pursue Mike very aggressively, but that was my whole point in what he was saying is like it sounds like Mike kind of gave up, you know what I'm saying, on the idea of Tampa as a contender, which I mean, I think that's realistic, right?
Smart.
You think Mike's what, 31, 32? And in his words, like,
I told you when he came out with those listed demands, you knew that you should have known Tampa Bay was cooked right after that.
yeah, I see that. I really do see that now. Like he said he said it was between the Bills and the Niners. He wanted number one quarterback. He wanted targets, and he wanted a team. He also I don't live in Tampa, and I ain't rich enough to go to Tampa Bay football games, but he did low key throw shade at the fans. He was talking about like the atmosphere at the games. He's like, when you go to Niners games, it's rocking and all this and that. And it's like this is your franchise guy, and he's letting it all hang out. So
Hey, he
definitely,
gave you what, 10 years of service?
hey man, I appreciate him. Like I said, my biggest problem with it is I finally got the Mike Evans jersey, and the man left me. So,
Hey,
but like you
it
said, that's one of
happens.
those ones.
I got a bunch of jerseys from players that's no longer on my squad.
I'm gonna frame it. And I'm gonna just enjoy it. Um, Another sneaky pick though or sneaky move that I liked, that Isaiah Likely to the Giants. I think Isaiah Likely has potential.
Solid.
Really good breakout tight end. I think he's only 23 years old, pretty young.
Yeah, he's shown a lot of flashes in Baltimore.
Yeah, my boy, Harbaugh's building the New York Ravens over there, going to get who he
I
can.
forgot Harbaugh is the
Yeah,
coach now, so that makes even more sense.
yeah. So he's over there. Um, there's one other deal. I'm over here looking at my little cheat sheet here. What's my dude name? Lord, I'm losing it.
What team?
The corner, the McDuffie.
Tariq.
McDuffie got traded to the Rams. Love that
Thought
for
you were
the.
about to say Tariq Woolen.
I actually like that one too, even though he's going to the damn Eagles.
That's a good pickup. I wish the
Big,
Cowboys would have did something. We could use a corner.
yeah. So he's got what, him, Coop.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
We let him get it again, man. Dang it. What do you think about the Crosby trade, man? We gotta talk about it. The Ravens trade for Maxx Crosby from the Raiders. I think a day or two before the new league year begins. The Ravens back out of said trade, make a whole thing, say that he failed a physical. Raiders didn't frame it as that, right? Like when people fail physicals, the language is that they failed a physical, and that's why the trade did not go through. The language was the Ravens backed out of the trade. Then the Ravens said he failed the physical. Then Maxx Crosby tweets today, I'm a Raider. Don't believe everything you hear, but I'm locked in. More or less is what he said. So I don't know about him failing the physical, like they said. But either way, what are your thoughts on the move, the backing out of the trade, and ultimately now I think they switched gears, right? The Ravens conveniently switched gears to Trey Hendrickson, where you get an elite pass rusher and you get to keep your picks, which again, convenient considering that Maxx Crosby failed his physical. How you feeling about that, man?
Yeah, it's interesting. First thought the Ravens made a blockbuster move to, help improve their team. Everyone was, talking, back in Super Bowl contention. Then a couple of days later, he's back on the Raiders. Um, like you said, whether it was actually a failed physical or whether they decided like, hey, because if you remember, Hendrickson was looking for what 30 million a year, and he wasn't getting that. So I'm wondering if
They got him
after
at
the
a
trade
number.
had happened, he kind of figured like I'm not getting the money I want, anywhere else. Let me because apparently the Ravens and Hendrickson were talking throughout the whole time.
Yeah, they said they were talking
You know,
about Crosby was at the facility.
yeah. So I don't know if they just decided like, hey, we can get him and then keep our 2 first rounders. Maybe that'd be better. Just because we don't know about this guy's medical. Obviously everyone knows that he just had knee surgery and whatnot. So I'm not sure. It's definitely strange. Whether or not they did it just to keep the 2 first round picks, I guess we'll never know, or maybe we will eventually. But
I
I think
want Matt
about
to air him out.
I think about the Mark Williams rescinded trade from the Lakers last year, where he failed his physical, but then he goes on to finish out playing the rest of the year, having a solid year in Phoenix this year, and looks like a player that could have helped the Lakers out. So I just hope that it doesn't end up being the case for Baltimore when they could have had a real impact player, on the edge there and really help them. But like you said, they made up for it, and you still got an elite
They
pass
got what you
rusher, which
wanted.
is something they needed, and nothing wrong with being able to keep 2 first round picks. I know a lot of people were, kind of on Jerry and Dallas for not, giving up 2 first round picks to get Crosby. But, I certainly, would rather have, the flexibility to, keep younger players and, draft, some younger guys. We've already got a lot of money tied up into a lot of players. So, at some point you got to, get younger and, be able to, draft some guys to come in and replace older, more expensive players. So, I ain't mad at it if that's the case.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, from a business standpoint, it sounds good to me, right? You mean something I
The
can
only person that should be mad is Crosby. He's got to go
right,
back to Vegas.
right. And I mean, at this point, some people just have soul ties, and he might just got one with the Raiders, and you just gotta enjoy it, man. Like it is what it is. You can get your money, right? Like you still
Get your
Max
money,
Crosby.
get you 10 to 15 sacks. Go,
Yeah, you still
go play
Max
at the
Crosby.
strip.
You good. You
Do what
good.
people do in Vegas.
Also, a new deal. Kyler Murray officially a Viking.
Please say Minnesota.
Yep. You didn't
Put
want
the
to go
word out
to
to
Pittsburgh.
the fantasy league owners that we back up.
Jealous.
We got Geno back in New York, so Garrett Wilson stock up. We got Mike Evans out of Tampa, Emeka Ibuka stock up. We got Kyler Murray in Minnesota, so Justin Jefferson stock back up.
And it's only a 1-year deal, which is also interesting.
So he got a hoop.
Yeah.
Which means
And
Justin Jefferson got to be down there somewhere.
If he don't, Vikings go in that 2027 quarterback class with the swiftness.
9 already done. Nine's not getting another shot. He's
not in
cooked.
Minnesota. Hey man, just ship. Look,
Michigan boys, man.
Bro, the guy, that was his rookie year. Y'all gotta let my guy work, man. Let him develop.
Nah, bro, he's cooked. He's cooked.
Damn, let my guy work. Jeez. Hopefully he go to New York and be with Geno.
Losing his job for a guy that you had to put in his contract that he had to watch film and get off the video game.
Come on, bro.
That's the guy that came in and replaced you.
Now let's be real. Kyler Murray, number 1 overall pick. Way different here. We're talking about intangibles. JJ's got the intangibles.
I didn't see him.
Kyler's got some of the craziest arm talent you've ever seen. Let the guy rock.
I didn't see anything from 9.
Sorry, give him a chance. He just needs another.
He don't deserve another chance.
He getting one. Somebody will need a quarterback very soon. They out here starting.
Yeah, with a clipboard.
They starting Jacoby Brissett in Arizona, bro. Like, my guy got a chance. He got time. He look like, if we haven't learned nothing else, Sam Darnold, it took him, 7 years? Give my guy a chance. Sheesh.
I think if Sam Darnold started out on that Vikings team,
I mean, that's a different story. Look, I'm not saying you're wrong, but imagine being a rookie quarterback and you play with the best receiver in the league and your pressure is, hey, throw me the ball. And that's all you're thinking about while trying to think about everything else. So you get in your head.
Nah, I'm not trying to hear that.
You got mind a break.
Play with a good roster or start your career with the Jets.
I feel you. But with the Jets, you have an opportunity to make mistakes. With Minnesota, he was expected to step in and win right away
With
because
the
they could
Jets,
trust.
all it is mistakes. That's the bad part.
Hey, at least you get to get rid of them. You making them with everybody else. In Minnesota, they looking at you crazy. They looking at you like you are losing us games. That is detrimental for a guy. He
Which he
was.
quite literally
He
was.
was. He was. He was. Last quick hitter, man. We ain't gonna keep yelling at my boy now. Like, give him another year. Shit, he might come back up Baker soon. I can't think about them right now. Anyway, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander officially ties Wilt's record for consecutive regular season games with 20-plus points. I'm glad it's regular season because Shea had 2 games in the playoffs last year where he did not get 20. But thoughts on that, man? And obviously, I mean, I think it's pretty evident he's going to break it. This is Shea we're talking about. Dang, Wilt, people coming for my guy this year. We're getting closer to you, Wilt. We getting real close to you in the league, Wilt. What are your thoughts on this, man? Is this super dope? Just
This is amazing. I
yeah,
think this is better than Bam's 83.
yeah. It's
Honestly, I'm
hard to. I said it's hard to
astonished.
get 20. It's hard to get 20.
I'm I'm astonished that I know LeBron had this streak that, just ended this season, of most consecutive games, double digit scoring. But, if there was anybody that I thought, would get close to that, 20 straight, consecutive games, I thought that would be, LeBron James. For Shea to do this as a guard, yeah, I know he's a bigger guard, but still for him to do this as a guard, you know, one of the smaller guys out there, shooting jump shots all the time, versus, Wilt physically imposing dominant, LeBron physically imposing and dominant. Like
Yeah,
you would think somebody Shaq, like somebody of that ilk would, be up there in those record books. So, for him to do that really just shows you just the kind of elite scoring ability that he has and just the amazing consistency to do that, this is what across 2 regular seasons, I guess. So for him to, be able to just consistently score, just get out of bed and score 20 any given night, that's a great accomplishment. Just shouts out to him, just continuing to build this resume. If he stays healthy rest of the way, possibly going to win MVP again. I think they've got a great chance to win another championship, for a chance for him to win back to back,
yeah.
in both categories. I mean, he's just etching his name in history right now.
What do you say? He said he got the answers to the test. He just don't know what the question is yet, or something like that. Shay's a dog, man.
He's got everything in his bag.
He's a special, special talent. I mean, NBA players are made in moments, right? And this is a guy that he's big moment after big moment after big moment. I
A
mean,
lot of clutch
walking.
threes over the past
Hey,
couple
I've been
weeks
talking
too.
about it, man.
Golden State, Denver.
He added that step back 3 to his game, man. Like you got to deal with Shea getting downhill pull up all game, downhill pull up all game, downhill layup, downhill foul, downhill layup, and then at the end of the game, downhill stun step back 3. Like you just want to fight him as a defender. You gotta want to fight him because what? Like what? And then and like 20 points. What's how many games is it now? What's the exact
It's
number?
126 is where he's at right now. Probably
120.
break that against Boston tonight.
That'll be done tonight. I mean, and then you gotta think about it too. Like you talk about health. Like this is a guy that he misses some game. Like he misses some games. He comes back, doesn't miss a beat. Right. Like you see people that take time to get things going, and like Shea just off the cuff with it 20. And like I said, it's not easy to score 20 points in the NBA. We are not Rashad McCants over here trying to break down foolishness and say if I do this. Like I ain't gonna lie. In high school, when I was in high school, my coach did come up to me and he said, Marquise, you can average 20. I was like, how? He's like, you got to score 5 points a quarter. You can't get 2 layups and a free throw. You can't hit a 3. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I did not average 20. I never did. Like, it just didn't happen. It sounds good. Like, it sounds like, and then you averaging 20. Well, he averaged more than 20, but you getting 20 and everybody's keying on you, right? Like, Shea's the guy. He plays on a great team. Don't get me wrong. But Shea's the guy. At the end of the game, it's Shea. The beginning of the game, it's Shea. So continue to just do what he does, man. Super duper dope, man. We on your ass. New Age is on your ass. We're trying to convert Nell back to this brand of basketball, slowly but surely. We gotta the purest in the league. We're gonna celebrate them because that's how we're gonna get Nell back to be rocking with this era, man. Because, whew,
I rock with the era,
Yeah.
man.
Not hard enough.
I like what I like. Nostalgia is the greatest drug there is.
I
What
mean,
can I
that's
say?
very fair. There's nothing like it. Nothing like that feeling. There's nothing like that feeling. So, but yeah, man, super dope. A lot of good things going on in the NBA. A lot of great things going on in the NFL. I mean, man, playoffs are around the corner. I mean, shoot, April will be sure we're less than a month away now. I'm pretty sure before we get to the playoffs of the NBA. NFL
Yep.
draft is also within the next month. So a lot of things coming down the wire, folks. It's going to be really, really exciting. Um, but that's going to do it for this episode of 2 for 2, man. It's season 4. It's episode 30. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for rocking with us. You know, we trying to come like Shay. You know what I'm saying? Consecutive. Boom, boom, boom. Keep dropping 20 balls on you guys. Pause. Um, and I appreciate y'all, man. You know where to find us on all social media platforms at 2 for 2 Pod, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, YouTube, Spotify Podcasts, everywhere. We there. You can find me and Nell. So we appreciate each and every one of y'all. With that, 2 for 2, Keith and Nell, we out.